Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hari Om and Namaskar to everyone. Meditation is in fashion. And everyone is buying this product. It has become a branded product, a stylized product, a stylish product. And like all products, what it sells is what is called feel-good factor. Every day, new techniques are coming in fashion, and people ask each other, have you tried this meditation? Celebrities have made it even more popular. I'm told Clint Eastwood meditates every day, Oprah Winfrey meditates every day, and our own Prime Minister also meditates every day. And it also comes with accessories like meditation mat, meditation fragrance, meditation music. In fact, just the other day, I was recording a 15-minute guided meditation session, and the recorder asked me, Swamiji, should we add some music to it? Meditation music. So, what is meditation? Is it a style or a lifestyle? Is it a means or a goal? Is it the journey or the end? Is it a technique, a process, or a skill? Is it a product, a perishable product, or the imperishable truth? This and a lot of other questions are answered in the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gītā called Dhyana Yoga. This name is very clear by itself, the path of yoga. It's also called Atma Sanyama Yoga. Atma Sanyam would normally mean discipline, self-control. However, since it is in describing Dhyana Yoga, it must mean Sanyamana, control into the self, or withdrawing into the self. The 5th chapter of the Bhagavad Gītā, in a sutra form, starts this discussion on meditation, sparshan, kritva, bahirbahyan, etc., verse 27 and 28. And in this chapter, the Bhashya style, elaboration on this 2 verses that were given in the 5th chapter is seen. Now, the question is, who can meditate? Or when you do a long journey, you need to prepare your, the car which is going to take you. So the mind is the one that's going to take us on this journey. So preparation of the mind, which was very wonderfully explained by Bhagwan in chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5, that is Karma Yoga, is once more emphasized that without this preparation, you cannot continue on this journey of meditation. So Karma Yoga is again talked about by Bhagwan Krishna right in the beginning of Dhyana Yoga. Then a very, very important thing is, because meditation is being rather than doing. So a mind too preoccupied with doing is not fit for meditation. And therefore Bhagwan says that a mind which is too preoccupied with doing, karma karana uchyate. Please continue to do karma yoga. And thereafter you become ready, shamak karana uchyate. You're ready to sit. You're ready to absorb within. A universal message of the Bhagavad Gītā is given in a very famous shloka, Uddhared atmanatmanam na atmanam avasadayet. In the context of Dhyana Yoga, its meaning is that instead of thinking ourselves as this finite being, individual, Uddharet, you are not that. Lift yourself into your true nature, which is the infinite self. Na atmanam avasadaye. Don't fall back into the state of being a finite being. And in this journey, who is your best friend? Your own mind. Atmaiva ratmano bandhuhu, atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Your own mind is going to be your best friend, and your own mind is going to be your worst enemy. Now starts the journey, the questions regarding meditation. That is why we've called this chapter Meditation Demystified. So many wrong notions are there, slowly get cleared in this beautiful chapter. So the first question is, who is the meditator? So it is not the body that is meditating, it's an inert thing. It's not the mind also. It's not even the sense organs that are the meditator. And definitely Atma does not need meditation. So who is the meditator? It is I, the individual that identifies with this body, mind, intellect. We call the Jiva. He or she is the meditator. Then the next question comes, what is the object of meditation? On what are you going to meditate? And that is why it is so important to understand. The second chapter explains, Avinashi tu tadvidhi yena sarvamidam tatam. Until unless you know the object, the Atma, the self is the object of meditation. But what is the nature of the self? What is the self? If it is not known, then in the name of meditation, you do something. But on what do you meditate? So very often it is also many people on the sound of Om or a form of the Lord. Meditation, this is called Saguna Upasana in our scriptures. So that is also Saguna Dhyana, which is fine. But here, Vedanta meditation is emphasized on. In the 6th chapter also. The self, the pure Atma, is what we have to meditate on. Now, what is the purpose of meditation? So Bhagavan says, Yoga Atma Vishuddhaye. Meditation itself becomes a technique by which you can purify your mind. In the seat of meditation, many vasanas, which are subtle, which are not possible sometimes to remove through karma yoga, etc., can come out, and in the light of your own intense meditation, they can get exhausted. Vasanas which are deep-rooted, vasanas which have a different form of expression, can just go away in the seat of meditation, and therefore it is said Atma Vishuddhaye. Atma Vishuddhaye can also mean that all the anatma that we have put on the self, the wrong notions, the mithya jnanam that we have put on the self, can be removed. And it purifies, and then you realize the self as the pure Satchidananda Brahma. Okay. What is the lifestyle conducive to meditation? Supposing I meditate for half an hour or 1 hour every day. How should I live the 23.5 hours or 23 hours of my life? Can I binge watch all the time and then sit for meditation? Will it be effective? If I watch a horror movie and sit for meditation, what am I going to see? So therefore, Bhagavan Krishna gives very good instructions, and he says, and this is true for everything, but since we are talking in the context of Dhyana Yoga, he says, Yukta ahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnava bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Appropriate eating, appropriate sleeping, appropriate working, appropriate entertainment, the golden mean. Ati sarvatra varjayet. So a life which is lived like that becomes conducive for meditation. Having explained that, naturally the question comes, what exactly is meditation? How can we meditate? What is meditation? So, Bhagavan Krishna very beautifully explains that. But he says, before you actually ask this question, everyone is now always very impatient about this. What is meditation? How do you meditate? And no one wants to spend the time in preparation for meditation. Or many times, preparation of meditation is called meditation. The minute person sits still like that or straight, everyone says, oh, he's meditating. What he's doing inside, Bhagavan only knows. So, the outer preparations of meditation, the external preparations of meditation are explained by Bhagavan beautifully. So he says, Shuchau deshe pratisthapya sthiramasanam right, the right time, especially in the initial stages, a quiet time, a conducive environment around, very important. Once you master meditation, or to a great extent you have practiced meditation, it doesn't matter where you sit. You will not get affected. But otherwise, a clean place, if you have mosquitoes and ants all around you, you're not going to meditate. If there's a lot of sound and other things, it's not going to be. So a very peaceful, quiet time, place, beautiful environment does definitely help, especially in the initial stages. And then where you are sitting, the asana should be not too soft, not too hard, where the spine remains straight. This is very, very important for meditation. If you can sit still, I remember Puja Guruji, when we were doing the course, for almost 1 year, said the only instruction he gave us for meditation is sit still. For 1 solid year, that's the only instruction. We used to keep asking, and do what? He says, sit still. But do what? Sit still. So the importance of sitting still is so, because to the extent the body is restless, to that extent the mind also becomes restless. So therefore, achalam, sthiraha, that is what is said. Samam kaya shiro grivam, with a straight, good posture, relaxed body, very, very important. Of course, if you get asana siddhi, 1 hour of sitting still is very conducive for meditation with no movement. Absolutely. Achalam, sthiram. That's why 2 words are used. Having done all these external preparations, even the senses and all that withdrawn, eyes are closed, Unfortunately, you can't close your ears and nose, but the rest of it is all like, no chewing gum in the mouth, meditation. Better to just avoid all these sense inputs. And we sit for meditation. Then the inner preparations come. Very, very important. We need to take certain type of sankalpas. First is, I won't move my body. The other is no expectation, nirashi. Yata chittatma. Nirashi means no expectations, because most of us have these notions about meditation. We say this is good meditation, this is bad meditation. So many thoughts came in my mind today, and we have expectation. Some light will happen, some sound will come, or some tingling will happen, or and then we say, oh, today was very good. I just felt silence sweeping over my body and all. Again, feel good factor. You see, we've so much hooked on this feel good factor. So no expectations of any type. There is nothing called good meditation. There's nothing called bad meditation. No collection, external correction, of course not, but even inside, how much information, so much information on meditation. So many times we find, when we sit for meditation, we are chanting shlokas of meditation, how to do the meditation and all that, instead of actually doing the meditation. We're talking to people, so many information, useless informations, they keep, propping in our mind. Parigraha, we have done so much of collection. Aparigraha. Vigata bhihi, fear. Fears of so many types. One is the fear, when you become very still and this, you might lose this, where your body is and all. And then you say, my God, I think my body is gone. No, no, no. So these are all fears. Actually, if anyone who starts practicing will realize that such fears come. And when you're becoming absorbed in the self, you think, I'm going to lose myself. That's exactly the purpose. Hey, please lose yourself. So fears are there. Vigata bihi and brahmachari vratestita. Very important. Who is sitting for meditation? With what identity we sit for meditation? If a mother sits for meditation, she's going to meditate on the child. What is that identity which I take when I sit for meditation? If I say, I am a seeker of truth, this is the one that we take. Brahmachari vratestitaha. I am a seeker of truth and I have no relation at this time. I am not a mother, I am not a man, I am not a woman. I have no relation with any other person. At this time, I am a seeker and I am a devotee of the Lord. That's the only identification I have. And matparaha, important. Satkar asevita, it is said. Matparaha means what? That what I'm doing right now is the most important task of my life. If I think anything else is more important, my mind will definitely go there. If I sit with a lot of this, after this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. When you sit for meditation, your mind is only, trying to remember what all I have to do afterwards. So therefore, these are very, very important. The grace of the Guru, seeking this and all. Then, next is, okay, what is meditation? So, normally it is given in 2 steps, so to speak. One is what? Yato yato nischarati manaschanchalamastakam tatastatan niyamya tata atmani eva vasham nayet. Meaning, withdrawing the mind from the external and absorbing the mind within. So we think there are 2 steps. One is withdrawal, the other is absorption. It's not like that. To the extent we have withdrawn, to that extent we are absorbed. To the extent we are absorbed, to that extent we have withdrawn. So it's not 2 steps. Step 1, withdraw. Step 2, absorb. No. Atmani eva, within the self, you remain. You this. And atma samstham manakrutva nakinchidapi chintayet. Having absorbed yourself, don't project outside. Don't go out. This is what Bhagavan Krishna says. Okay. When I do this, I withdraw my senses, I withdraw my mind, everything like that. But with what do I do this? What is the role of the mind and the intellect in this process of meditation? Does it have a role or does it not have a role? So, Bhagavan says, Buddhi grahyam atindriyam. Buddhi definitely has a role to play. A pole vaulter takes the pole, runs with the pole, fixes the pole, takes the support of the pole and goes over the pole. Similarly, a buddhi which has certain characteristics is definitely, without that we cannot meditate. So we take this buddhi and go beyond the buddhi and absorb ourselves in the pure self. So what type of a buddhi is required? So it is said, Shuddha buddhi, a mind purified of all raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, etc. Sukshma buddhi, a buddhi which can distinguish between the real and the unreal, atma, anatma, nitya, anitya, sukshma buddhi, and very important also, ekagra buddhi. Tatra ekagram manakrutva, Bhagavan says. A mind which can be focused, concentrated. A mind which is restless is not going to be able to do meditation. So therefore, the buddhi definitely has a role. But along with buddhi, what is required is a lot of patience. Tremendous amount of patience. Why? Because our mind is what it is. We need a lot of patience with our own mind. Meditation is something where guaranteed failure, 100% failure the first time you sit, or the second, or the third, or the fifth, or I don't know how many. So each day you have to deal with this mind and you have to grit your teeth and you have to say, okay. And along with that, endless enthusiasm. Each time you say, okay, today, yes, again. I'm not in the mood, doesn't matter. I sit again and again. But once we get a taste of it, once by the grace of God, by the dint of practice, we start having this liking for meditation. You get this so called high with meditation. Then all other joys of life fail, pale. They don't stand much this. So, till that time that you actually start liking and wanting to meditate, and even after that, it requires long hours of practice and long hours of effort. That is why it is said, Uddhared Atmana Atmanam Purushartha, Purushartha, again, for this, practice of meditation itself. So buddhi is required, dhriti is, these are all qualities of the buddhi only. Utsaha, dhriti, sukshmata, shuddhata, etc. All required for meditation. Okay. So what are the type of obstacles that we are going to face on the path of meditation? The most obvious, and every one of you who has ever tried to meditate has known, is you fall asleep. Because that's the time when your body is relaxed and everything is outside everyone. And then if you're doing guided meditation, the person also says, relax, relax. And when do we relax? When we go to sleep. So obviously we go to sleep. I don't think Arjuna had that problem, because he did not talk of this. Okay, Bhagavan, what do I do? How do I? He only said, Chanchalam himana. Another absolutely universal problem that everyone has is what? The restlessness of the mind. These are the two main. Once you overcome these two, then the other ones come. But these are two ones. First, he says this mind, it is so restless. Pramathi balava, it's stubborn. It is unyielding. It is very strong. It is not going to listen. It's not controllable. So how do I deal with it? You say you have to absorb it and withdraw it, but it's not in my hand. I don't know where it is, first of all. So how do I do? So Bhagavan Krishna says, Shakyo aptum upayataha. For every problem there is in life, there is a solution. Remember that. So he says, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. Abhyasa vairagya. Practice and practice. I remember once Gurudev saying that meditation is a knack, a skill. And every skill is mastered with practice. So, there's no other way. Many times people say, no, I don't want to practice. I don't want to, it's not for me. How do you know? Well, I tried it. For how long? Or, no, I don't think it is for me. You haven't even tried. We haven't even given it a chance. We've already assumed it's not for me. And I'm telling you, doing puja, japa, etc., it's much easier because you have some result happening, at least at the end of it. You have something, which is there. But in this, like I am Brahman, this thought itself, I am infinite, this thought itself doesn't come. We have no idea how to form this thought itself, first in our mind. So it seems to be like almost an impossible task. But abhyas enutukamte. Bhagavan says, it is possible. You can do it. Okay. What is the result of meditation? Oh, a peace that passeth all understanding. Shantim paramam shantim. Nirvana paramam. Endless joy. Sukham akshayam ashnute. Sukham atyantikam yattad. Buddhi grayam. Atyantikam sukham. Endless bliss. Yallabha na param labha. Again, there is no greater gain. If I get infinite, what can there be more added to infinity? I mean, there cannot be anything. So So this is the supreme gain. Okay, what is the vision of a person who is realized? Sarvabhutasthamaatmanam sarvabhutani chatmani. He sees what? The self in me is the self of all. He sees himself in everyone and everyone in himself. What a beautiful vision. And because of that, Atmaupamyena sarvatra samam pashyati sukham va yadi va dukkam. He becomes so sensitive to everyone, to the pain and the sorrow and everyone. You see their kindness and compassion flowing through them. Why? Because they have this great grand vision. And how are they in the world outside? So since they identify, they have an equipoise. All the circumstances that happen, sukha, dukkha, mana, apamana, so what? Samadarsha. Sama doesn't mean same, it means oneness. Sama loshtashma kanchana. To things, what do? They have the right evaluation of the things in their life. Money, position, power. They have the right evaluation, give the right importance. Due importance, not over importance or under importance. It has its own role. And towards people, how are they? You say, even people who hate them, Surun, Mitra, Rudasina, Madhyastha, Dvesha, Bandhushu, whoever it is, because they see the self in them, they do not get carried away. They in turn have definitely no likes and dislikes for them. They remain the same for all. Okay. But I have an anxiety. Why? This is Arjuna's anxiety. What if I don't reach my goal? I die before that. Or what if I get distracted? We'll have to start again. In next lifetime, do I have to start all over again? Bhagavan says no. Nahi kalyana krit kaschita durgatim tadakachati. Don't worry. Anyone who started on the path, don't worry. He says, Purvabhyasena tenaiva hriyate avashapisa. Whatever you have done in the past, you will carry forward in the future. I have known of people who are young and who sit for meditation for hours together. And I ask them, who taught you to meditate? He says, I just know. So, some Purva Janma samskaras are there and then they so easily meditate. So don't worry, because many times, what if I don't reach the goal, and what if I die, and what is going to happen? And all. No, you just carry forward. Nothing is lost. It's all there. So all our anxieties, fears, everything is taken away by Bhagavan, explained very beautifully and in detail. And he says, from all of these other, Jnani and all of this, he says that this is a very great path. Puja Gurudev called it the highest vocation, meditation. And so Bhagavan Krishna tells Arjuna, Tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. Please become a meditator. This is his last instruction to Arjuna. And he says, Shraddhavan, with the Shraddha bhajate yomam. If you, with faith, you connect yourself with me, success is guaranteed. With this assurance, I don't think we need to hesitate. Dhyana Yoga is a beautiful chapter of the Bhagavad Gītā. May the Lord bless us all so that we can meditate and realize our own true nature. Prayers for the well-being of everyone. Hari Om and Namaskar. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.